I'd just like to say that Carole and I are absolutely delighted by today's announcement.
It's what all these very brave ladies tell me. It's seeing is believing.
Carole Middleton is featured in this week's issue of People magazine, and as a grandma to royal babies, she is completely hands-on.
She was never supposed to be more than the mother-in-law, but Carole Middleton just flipped the royal script, and Queen Camilla is said to be in tears. In a stunning twist that has shocked palace insiders, the matriarch of the Middleton family has made a move no one saw coming, leaving the Queen Consort emotionally shaken. This isn't just gossip. It's the kind of story that forces you to ask, who really holds the power behind the palace gates? Was this a silent statement of disapproval, a hidden grudge bubbling to the surface, or something more strategic? As whispers swirl and social media erupts, people are asking, what did Carole do? And why did it cut so deep? You're about to find out the truth behind the headlines, the whispers in the palace halls, and why Queen Camilla may never see her the same way again. To understand the weight of this unexpected decision, we need to look at the two women involved. Carole Middleton isn't just any mother-in-law. She's the woman who raised the future Queen of England, Kate Middleton. Born into a modest background and self-made through her party supply business, Carole is widely respected for keeping her family grounded even as they ascended into royalty. She's often described as calm, confident, and fiercely protective of her daughter and grandchildren. On the other side is Queen Camilla. Once the most controversial figure in the royal family, she has fought a long and often painful journey to win public acceptance. Now, as the Queen Consort, Camilla has stepped into her role with grace and duty, supporting King Charles and taking on more public engagements than ever. Despite their differences, Carole and Camilla have generally been seen as maintaining a cordial, if distant, relationship. They appear together at public events, always polite, always smiling. But insiders have hinted for years that beneath the surface there might be tension, differences in class background, family values, or even maternal influence over Prince George and his siblings. This sets the stage for what makes Carole's recent action so shocking. In the carefully choreographed world of the British monarchy, such a personal move can carry enormous political weight. And when a Middleton makes the Queen cry, it's not just about hurt feelings, it's about power, position, and possibly payback. So, what exactly did Carole Middleton do that reportedly brought Queen Camilla to tears? According to multiple viral claims online, including trending YouTube videos and royal gossip channels, Carole made a bold personal decision that blindsided the Queen Consort. The story goes that Carole declined a royal invitation, specifically a high-profile palace event that Camilla personally extended an invitation to. But it wasn't just a "sorry, can't make it." The way she allegedly declined and the reasons behind it reportedly sent a very clear message. Sources suggest that Carole turned down the invite not for scheduling reasons, but as a quiet protest. Theories range from frustrations with how Kate has been treated since her surgery and absence from the public eye, to subtle power plays about who really gets access to the future King and Queen's children. One particularly emotional version of the story claims that Queen Camilla had hoped the event would bring the families closer, especially given the public scrutiny both women have faced. So when Carole's decline came through, it wasn't just seen as rejection. It was interpreted as a deeply personal slight. It's said that Camilla was visibly upset after receiving the news. Some claim palace staff noticed her wiping tears after a private meeting with Charles. Now, while we must treat these reports with caution, the buzz is loud enough that people are asking, did Carole just draw a line in the sand? If this story is even partly true, it suggests a fracture in royal family dynamics that could have long-lasting consequences, and one that's being quietly but fiercely acknowledged behind closed doors. Let's hit pause for a second. Where is this story actually coming from? The claim that Carole Middleton's decision left Queen Camilla in tears isn't coming from traditional media like the BBC or the Times. Instead, it's blowing up across social media, especially on YouTube, TikTok, and royal commentary accounts. Titles like "Carole Middleton's bold move leaves Camilla crying" are racking up millions of views. But when you dig into the details, hard evidence is almost non-existent. No official statement has been released by Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, or Clarence House. No photographs show a teary-eyed Camilla leaving an event. No journalists with royal credentials have confirmed a falling out. This doesn't mean it didn't happen, but it does mean we need to take it all with a grain of salt. The digital world is fertile ground for royal drama. These stories thrive because they play into pre-existing narratives. Camilla, as the royal outsider still fighting for respect, and Carole, as the underestimated power broker behind her daughter's throne. What we're seeing here may be less about facts and more about vibes. People are picking up on recent tensions. Kate's absence, the palace's stiff upper lip, and Camilla's rise in visibility, and filling in the blanks. And sometimes, perception becomes more powerful than truth. Still, the sheer volume of this story forces us to pay attention. Even if unconfirmed, the story's spread says something bigger about how the public reads the royal family, and what kinds of stories they're hungry to believe. If we assume there's at least a kernel of truth to this story, then the big question becomes, why would Carole Middleton make such a bold move? What could possibly push her to risk royal tension? One theory centers around Kate's recent absence from public life. Since undergoing abdominal surgery, the Princess of Wales has stepped back from the spotlight, sparking wild speculation about her health and well-being. In that void, Camilla has stepped up, visibly and symbolically. Some believe Carole may feel that Camilla is overstepping, or at the very least, not doing enough to protect Kate's privacy and space. Another theory? Access to the children. Carole has long played a close role in the lives of Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. If she felt that palace politics, or Camilla herself, were interfering with that dynamic, she might respond by drawing clear boundaries. Declining a royal invitation could be her subtle way of saying, "You don't control this space." There's also the possibility of simple miscommunication. Maybe the decision was innocent, timing, prior obligations, but got blown out of proportion by insiders with their own agendas. In royal circles, even the smallest gesture can be scrutinized and spun into scandal. Or maybe this is just the latest chapter in a quiet rivalry. Carole and Camilla come from completely different worlds. Carole, the self-made businesswoman; Camilla, the aristocratic insider. Their visions for the monarchy and their family roles might never align perfectly. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. When whispers of private decisions make public waves, it's rarely by accident. Someone wanted this story out there, and someone, perhaps Queen Camilla, was deeply affected by it. If this story is true, or even partially true, the implications reach far beyond hurt feelings. In royal families, every decision has ripple effects. Carole Middleton's alleged snub may seem small on the surface, but in a world where image and unity are everything, it signals a crack in the facade. And the fact that Camilla, now Queen Consort, may have had such an emotional reaction suggests just how personal and fragile these relationships really are. Publicly, the royal family has spent years trying to show a united front. With the loss of Queen Elizabeth, Prince Harry's departure, and King Charles's reign still in its early stages, they can't afford more family drama. Yet, here we are, with another emotional headline, even if it's unofficial. For Camilla, this situation could stir old insecurities. She has spent decades proving her place in the royal family, fighting public judgment and private resistance. If she felt accepted at last, a cold shoulder from Carole Middleton, Kate's mother, the next Queen's closest confidant, could feel like a painful step backward. As for Carole, her image as the calm, collected royal in-law may now be reshaped. Whether her move was calculated or misunderstood, she's being painted as powerful, even formidable, someone who can shake the palace from the outside. Ultimately, the story reinforces one thing. In the royal family, silence is rarely neutral. Every decision carries weight, and every gesture is read like a headline. So, what happens now? As of now, the palace has remained silent. No surprise there. Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace rarely comment on rumors unless they reach a boiling point. But that silence can be just as loud as a statement. It leaves space for speculation, and speculation is what keeps the story alive. If Carole Middleton's decision was indeed a statement, we may see it echoed in future actions. Will she appear less often at royal events? Will her relationship with Kate, and by extension, with the royal family, become more guarded? Watch for who's standing next to whom at future photo ops. In the royal family, body language speaks volumes. Queen Camilla, for her part, is expected to continue her public duties with composure, but insiders may be watching closely. If her demeanor shifts, or she becomes more reserved around the Middleton circle, the tension may still be simmering behind the scenes. Meanwhile, the public will keep dissecting every moment. In the age of social media, royal watchers and digital sleuths will look for clues in every smile, glance, and absence. Until someone speaks, or until the next royal bombshell drops, this story will continue to linger in the background, casting long shadows over the palace walls. In the world of royalty, even whispers can shake foundations. Whether Carole Middleton truly made a bold move that brought Queen Camilla to tears, or whether it's all smoke without fire, the impact is undeniable. The buzz, the speculation, the emotional weight, it all points to a deeper tension within the royal circle. Real or imagined, this story reminds us that behind the crowns and titles are human beings with feelings, egos, and grudges. And sometimes, the most powerful statements aren't made in speeches, they're made in silence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. More royal revelations are just around the corner.